dungeon saying that, oh, apparently it's the Fire King, because apparently, like, okay, I will just kind of describe it once I get down to the dinner room, or the discussion room, or whatever you'd want to call it. But, so, apparently, okay, so that's not where I want to go right now. I want to go, it's up here. Okay, so people are saying, oh, I hate the chest noise, so people are saying that this is the Fire King's, this is the Fire King's seat, and that is his emblem, possibly wind, and then that's obviously the Ice King, maybe Earth, maybe, I don't know, wind again, because looks like no, it's a little bit different. I'm not sure what that one is. I'm not sure what any of these except for this one is. But apparently people were saying that this is the Fire King's seat, and that is his emblem, so is that one on there. So everyone else agreed on something, except for the Fire King. So maybe the Fire King didn't get what he wanted out of it, or maybe what he deserved out of it, and they had a disagreement, and maybe the Ice King got up and then threw his chair down, you know, tied him up, something like that, and then he went, and that would also kind of explain, so say these fires used to be like normal fire, but ever since he's taken it over, there's gonna be, it's blue fires now. I don't really think that makes sense, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. That's what some people think. Okay, I'm going back up right now. I need to go back down. But that's what people are saying. And then so down here, apparently the Ice King, or the Fire King, is being held prisoner inside of that. And it's melting. And it would kind of make sense if the Fire King was in that. You know, maybe he's getting his powers because the ice was falling. And if you didn't know, that's the Rude Awakening season, or week 7. Week 7 loading screen. And maybe that's helping him get his powers, because the Ice King was able to get his powers because the ice started falling. And then maybe the Fire King started getting his powers because the ice started falling too. But people were saying that there's been screaming, that you can hear screaming, but I don't hear any screaming at all. Yeah, no screaming. No screaming at all. There's a lot of people who are clickbaiting for all that. And I've got to admit, that shield looks pretty cool. It's kind of off topic, but you know. This is the bottom entrance, obviously. A lot of people probably know that. But I'm really curious if maybe if the Fire King comes out, then what if all of this melted and then everything in there? Because it seems like some of the castle is taken over by some of this ice out here. Because I'll see if I can go up there. Oh, come on, I suck at building. Alright, but like, see over here, it looks like some, like, not the whole thing is, like, maybe not, like, maybe all the inside, most of the inside is open, but not all of the outside is open. So maybe there's something outside that maybe could lead to another secret opening that you can't find in here, like inside of the building, but you can find outside of the building. And it's still going to be hidden, of course. And those are the main two theories that I know. But the whole fire thing really doesn't make sense to me. Like, why, like, it doesn't make sense. Why would the fire be blue just because the ice, the Fire King's trapped? Like, it doesn't make sense. Or the fire, I think I said fire, I don't know, I'm sorry. The wrong door. I mean, some of it makes sense, but nothing goes along with the fire. Like, it makes sense that the Fire King may be trapped down here. It makes sense on that. But like, not really much else makes sense to me. And it does look like something is obvious. Obviously, it looks like something's trapped up there. But what is that? Like, is that attached to the ceiling, or is that just attached to the ice now? Did the ice push down through the ceiling? Maybe. Well, not necessarily through the ceiling, but the ice grew on top of the ceiling, and it was pushing. But that has gone down in like the past few days. At least like the past day, at least it's gone down. Because I'm pretty sure just yesterday I looked at it. And it looks like this part was mainly the torture. Because it's put down. Maybe there was like water and ice, and you know, Fire King, you know, fire doesn't respond well to ice. And then there's the dragon. Sorry if I don't sound right. You know, it's my throat kind of hurts because I don't talk a lot. But apparently, yeah, I can see kind of dragons, but I don't know how much I like the turn that Fortnite's seeming to take. I see the dragons inside. You can see them. If those are dragons. You don't know if those are dragons yet, but they could be, like I understand it. Some of this makes sense and some of it doesn't. You know, like a lot of people are saying maybe this is going to melt and that's going to completely flood the whole map, you know, the Kraken banner and the battle pass. I mean, I don't know. I can't really figure it out. Like, it makes sense, but it doesn't, because I don't know about that one. It's confusing. But the whole Fire King and then the dungeon and then all of that, it kind of makes sense, but some of it doesn't. It's hard to explain. And then maybe they threw, you know, a bunch of water, kind of flooded it up to the limits. Maybe he was in some of the water. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure what the Fire King looks like. Maybe it's not even a Fire King. I mean, it would make sense if it was, but because, you know, ice and fire, they don't really like each other, I wouldn't think. But like, it wouldn't make sense for the fire. Or it wouldn't make sense for the fire, but like, I've seen a video, and of course you can barely trust any of these Fortnite videos anymore, because you don't even know, because half the people just get it for views, and then they can get paid because YouTube's completely screwed up. It does not make any fucking sense. But you know, this doesn't really make sense either. How would, like, I don't know, maybe this snowflake skin from the challenges is in there. Maybe that's in there. Because I mean, you don't know what might be in here. There could be you know, there could be all kinds of stuff in there. Not really all kinds, but like there could be more torture devices in there. There could be I cannot talk today. I'm sorry. Maybe there's 2 skins in there, you know, both using, like, okay, so there's one arm attached to this one, and then maybe they're both double cuffs. Maybe they're back to back. Maybe there's 2 skins in there. Maybe the Snowflake skin and the Ice King or the Fire King. But I'm not sure what might be down in here. But that's the main theories I know. It doesn't, like, the you know, because the Fire King is now locked up and not really awake anymore, that the fire turned blue. That doesn't really make sense. Like, it doesn't really fit along with it. Sorry, I'm saying but a lot. I have a serious problem with that. But what makes sense to me. I don't know. And it just doesn't seem like all of the ice could melt. Like, it doesn't seem like all of it's going to be able to. Maybe there's still going to be part of the region of the map that is maybe ice, snow, and then maybe part of the region, is fire. Some of it maybe, natural. Sorry if I'm pausing. And I'm not sure what's in that. A lot of people have been saying that it's the Infinity Sword, but I'm not sure what I believe's in that. I don't see anything in it. Nothing really. I don't see anything in it. There's no way to actually see under it. I've not found a way to get into it to find out and see if there's anything in it or not. But maybe the Infinity Sword's coming back with the Ice King, because the spear exploded. Now the Ice King's awake, practically sitting in his throne. Maybe he comes out here, breaks the ice. Not really breaks, but kind of melts it to where he can grab the Infinity Sword. Maybe the Ice King's gonna become like a NPC like the zombies now, and will fight you. And he's gonna be really hard to kill. And then he will drop the Infinity Sword, and then you practically win the game at that point. Well, not necessarily, but you have the Infinity Sword. You're gonna be pretty OP. Infinity Sword's extremely OP. That's what makes sense to me. I'm not exactly sure, anything about it. I don't know how. I really wish that all of this would melt, or there's some version of the Ice Castle, the Ice Kingdom, that is unmelted, and we can, see it without all the snow and ice. I mean, the snow's okay, but where we can see the whole entire map, or the whole entire kingdom. I think it'd look pretty cool. But what I don't exactly understand, I'm just kind of out here thinking, what I don't understand and what is why there's not that many rooms, of anything. It seems like he just built this to have some peasants, maybe have them, do forging and working, and then he just built maybe rooms, maybe no rooms, maybe they just had to sleep on the hay. But I don't see any beds or anything. So maybe this was exclusively built for the Ice King. Cause exploring this whole place, you don't see any beds, you don't see anything, any evidence that people actually lived here. At least from what I've seen, I've not seen any beds, I've not seen anything. Other than just working rooms, what would make sense, as in they're working. So I think the Ice King, hired peasants and just built workplaces for them. But there's that's just what I think. And I guess, I'm not sure, I'm just kind of thinking along this, because I never have any scripts. I don't really think about it before I record or broadcast or anything. I literally just hop on and start my broadcast. But this is what makes sense to me. What I've said so far and what I've agreed with so far. Sorry, I was getting a call. The sphere event, it was pretty cool. Maybe in the future. So there is an ice castle comes up, I don't know, somewhere around on the map. Maybe, over here, completely across from Polar Peak, have an ice castle, or a fire castle. And then, maybe the spear event will be really similar to that, and he spreads fire across it, maybe. I'm just kind of thinking about this, I'm not sure. But maybe that could happen very similar to that. like very similar to the spear event, and maybe, you know, this whole map will become, you know, fire, maybe back to normal. Maybe some of it's fire, maybe some of it's ice. I'm not sure. But, it would, like, some people are saying, hey, the cubes are gonna come back. The, Ice King brought back the cube and stuff like that. But, I mean, it would be really awesome if Kevin came back. But, literally, I don't see anything that could show that Kevin actually came back. Or Kevin's here, or anything like that. Or, like, some people, like, I've seen a video by a completely, obviously, clickbait channel, and, he said, like, in every single Ice King video he makes, you know, it's, the Ice King has brought back the whole entire snow map, and then all of that, and then he's saying, he's also brought with the zombies the cube, and I don't believe that at all. It doesn't make sense. None of them turn purple. Like, it doesn't make sense. How would he have brought back the cube? Honestly, Ice King had nothing to do with the cube. This really doesn't make sense. You don't really... It would be really awesome if Kevin came back. Maybe he arose from the loot lake again, something like that. Maybe, like, just anything, honestly. It would be pretty awesome if Kevin came back, but I don't think that there's any chance in him coming back unless, you know, something happens apart from the Ice and Fire King. Like, me personally, what I kind of like, you know, medieval. I can't even talk today. I have such a country accent. But, like, you know, like, maybe I'll personally like, you know, medieval things. I just think it's kind of interesting. But, like, some of it, yeah, I guess, kind of makes sense. Magic, cube seems pretty magical, you know. But I don't think that he would have had anything to do with the cube. And the cube had nothing to do with the Ice King or the Fire King or anything medieval, really. If anything, if anything, Kevin's more, you know, futuristic. It would be kind of cool if they went to, like, you know, I didn't really play, during Season 6 much. But I don't know if it was, like, futuristic, you know, anything like that. But I barely played during Season 6. I didn't go to the the cube event. But I watched a video on it, and I knew he existed there, you know. But I know exactly what happened with Kevin and all that. But I don't see him coming back. I mean, those are purple stones, but I mean, they might not be stones. That might be the cube. I mean, you never know, but it is purple. I mean, I don't know. I haven't really watched any videos on that, so sorry, you know, this has already been covered. Anything like that. But this may be the broken apart cube, something like that, you know. But to me, just some of the theories that some of these people are coming up with just doesn't really make sense to me. I don't see how it would be the cube, like, really, but I don't see how the Ice King brings back the cube. I don't see how just because, you know, the Fire King may have tortured the Ice King may have tortured the Fire King, that, you know, all the fire in the game would turn blue. It doesn't make sense to me like that. That just seems super stupid. And just not a lot about some of the theories that these people are coming up with makes sense. It just seems like they're trying to get out there and get some views. I mean, so, like, my theories might not even make some sense. I'm just, you know, coming along with some theories. Some people, like, I'm not saying all people who are making these theories and it doesn't really make sense are faking it or just getting it out there for views. But, like, it's confusing. It's not everyone is doing that, but it's pretty obvious that someone does it. but just be careful with it. Like, I'm just gonna go ahead and say you can't assume just because, you know, a channel is wrong or it doesn't make sense to you. You can't always assume that that channel is just out there for views, but some of them you can really obviously find out from your comments, and just a lot of it makes sense if they're just out there for views. And you know, stuff like that, it just always doesn't make sense, but we just have to make sure that we're not always against people. We always got to think of their ideas and understand them, try our best to understand them, and see, you know, try and see their opinion, see if it makes sense to us. And like, I can kind of see, you know, the Ice King torturing the Fire King. I can see all that, but some theories that people are adding onto this theory, it really doesn't make sense. Sorry if I go silent for a minute. It doesn't make sense. Not everything that they're putting out there makes sense. I know this is literally just, you know, a game, and it is just a theory, but a lot of people are thinking about the theories and thinking they make like a lot of sense, and they're not thinking that they make a lot of sense, but don't make any sense at all. Like saying, hey, you're out there for clickbait, you're just clickbaiting, you're doing this for views. A lot of people are gonna say that, but you can't promise, you know, just because they're out there and they're saying that doesn't mean they're out there for views. I know I've said that already, but that's just the kind of thing that sometimes are getting on my nerves. You know, sorry. But that's pretty much like the only thing I can really think of about this right now. What if I got rid of the double barrel? It's too OP, I thought. I guess I didn't. I'm so bad at building. But you know, that's just something that happens. You know, some people think these theories through, but it may not make sense to a lot of people. And I understand, you know, you might not be out there for clickbait, but some people will think that, and you just gotta ignore them if you're trying to go out there and try to make your own YouTube channel. I don't really get any comments on my videos, I don't get a lot of views, but I just ignore that fact. I kind of enjoy putting this out there. You know, maybe some people will find it out, stuff like that, but some of the theories that some people are coming up with don't make sense. That's pretty much all I've said all of this video. I'm sorry. You know, that's also something I've pretty much said all of this video. That is too, and I'm just gonna keep saying that. I'm sorry I'm so annoying. But sorry if you guys are, you know, commenting, or not commenting, but because this is broadcasted. I'm sorry if you guys are, you know, telling me something I'm not sure what you're saying, if you are saying anything at all, because I don't have my thing turned on, because I manually do these for YouTube videos. I manually broadcast and then just upload it to YouTube. But I don't think that much of this really makes sense to me for any of the, well, not any of the Ice King and Fire King problem, but like some of the Ice King and Fire King problem doesn't make sense. I mean, of course they're going to be rivals, you know, it's fire and ice. Fire and ice doesn't mix well together. It never has, it never will. But just, you know, that's just something that doesn't make sense to me. Some of the things that they're saying, like, how could that be true? It just doesn't make sense. But you know, that's pretty much all I think about this. There's not a lot that makes sense. There's not a lot that will make sense. So that's pretty much just the whole broadcast slash video, because I know there's 2 people watching, because it kind of came up and said, I will check if you guys said anything in a minute. I'm gonna check and I'm gonna turn on this. I'll be right back. Alright. But that's what makes sense to me. It may not make sense to you guys, you know, it's fine. Yeah, I understand if you don't understand. I understand if I'm getting really annoying. That's what I think. You may think different. You know, you can just tell me your ideas in the comments, and maybe they make sense. Maybe I can help you guys, because it's always nice to learn from some other people. Think about other people's, you know, beliefs and all that. But alright, that's pretty much the whole video. Or broadcast, whichever you're watching this from. But that's the whole thing. That's what I think of it. That's what other people think of it. A lot of people think that, you know, striking, you know, makes sense. I'm not gonna repeat that anymore because I've said that so much, and I'm sorry that you guys have to keep listening to me saying, but yeah, sorry about that. That is the end of this stream slash broadcast, or not stream slash broadcast. Oh my gosh, video slash broadcast. That is all for today, guys. I will see you guys later, and goodbye.